Okay, well, good Monday morning, New York Jet fans and NFL fans. It is January 3rd, 2022, 6:22 a.m., and we are one game away tonight, Cleveland in Pittsburgh, to ending the Week 17 NFL 2021-2022 season. Obviously, this year it goes 18 weeks, so they're playing 17 games. So before I go any further and go into the Jet game yesterday and of course all the scores and the preview tonight, um, over the weekend we lost my father. We call him Pops, um, on New Year's Day, and he is the reason why I've become such an NFL fan and a tremendous Jet fan. Um, he taught me about football at a young age, and I think looking back, I probably drove him crazy because I always remember him. Um, he always worked 6 days a week. He was a plumber, and Sundays there was a day home, and we would watch. Back then I think it was like the Giants at 1 on CBS and the Jets at 4 on NBC, or they'd flip flop. And then of course there was no Sunday night game, but there was always a Monday night game. And I can remember him always being into the game. And some of the game, back then you only got the local game. You didn't get those other games until you got to the playoffs. But Monday night was always, a game that he would watch. I think because he used to bet on it also. um, but I can remember being a young kid and asking questions. And he's trying to get into the game and trying to, you know, answer my questions. And I could see the game is getting intense. And I'd say to him, it'd say like, 3rd and 4. And I'd say, well, how much further do they have to go? And he'd go 4 yards. I go, no, for the touchdown. And he tried to teach me where they were on the field and what they were doing and whatnot. Um, as I got older and started playing the game in the street, um, we 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 uh, we started going to games. First game we ever attended together was at the old Meadowlands Stadium, at Giant Stadium back in '88 or '89. Mom got tickets from her job, and we were in the upper deck for a Monday night game, Jets versus Buffalo, and this is when Buffalo was really starting to, come alive. Um, the atmosphere was crazy. Um, Monday night game, and people are just rowdy, and the Jets were getting blown out, and to the point where it was before, just before, or just after the Halloween, and they had this giant blow up pumpkin that was being, volleyed around the lower bowl. We were all the way up in the top, and it was just getting volleyed around the lower bowl, and crowd was getting out of hand. There was fires being started. There was nothing going on the field. It was like 30. I think the final score was like 33-10. And the only reason why the Jets scored was they picked off Jim Kelly for a touchdown. But I remember at one point we were just sitting there, and he the security came and took the pumpkin away and brought it into the tunnel. And the whole stadium started chanting, "We want the pumpkin." And like 2 minutes later, the pumpkin came out. And they started volleying again, and Pop just thought that was like the funniest thing. And then a few years later, um, I wound up getting season tickets. And for the first, well, I'd say for the whole time they were at the old stadium, he would come to at least 5 to 8 games. Um, we probably would do a preseason game. Once in a while, he'd do a preseason game, or we'd split the preseason game. Um, and we'd go, and then we, became friends with the people next to us. And then my best friend wound up getting tickets, and we would make it a whole day thing. And we'd, tailgate. And he had to get there early because he needed his handicap spot. And we'd tailgate. We'd get there for, a 1 o'clock game, get there for 9:30. Um, and he'd listen to the radio, read the paper, and maybe take a nap and all that, then go into the game, and everybody knew him. And hey, Pop is here, and the old man's here, and you know, and for those of you who knew him and watched games with him, and then this goes out to my buddy George, he would tell you we could walk into the stadium and the Jets could be favored by 10, which never really happened. But they, when they had a good team like in '98 or whatever, and they'd flip the coin, and the Jets would lose the coin toss, and he'd say, "That's it, they're not going to win. Game's over." Before kickoff, before the teams got on the field, that was his, outlook in the game. And he always used to say, the Super Bowl 3, being a plumber, he actually got called to do a job that day, so he couldn't watch the game. So he never really saw the game in its entirety like he would. And he always said, and even to the people around us that we would sit next to, "You guys are young. I hope you guys get to see it in your lifetime because I'm never going to see it again in mine." And he was right. We got close a few times, '98 and '09 and '10. Um, so, yesterday obviously was a home game, and because of the situation on Saturday, we didn't plan on going anyway because of the holiday and because his pop was in the hospital. But we planned on watching the game from home. And after he passed on Saturday, I uh, I turned and I said they're going to beat Brady tomorrow, and it was close enough. Um, it was typical Brady Jet fashion that we experienced throughout the years. Um, and I'll say this: as much as Brady was a Jet killer, and obviously still is. Pop always said he's a great player. I just hate him that he's not on our team. That son of a bitch will play till he's 100. Um, so yesterday, the way the game ended was typical Jet Brady fashion for the most part. He's 31-8 against them now, and I know the record. I know they were 4-11. I know they were going nowhere. I know people looking at draft alignment and all that. But yesterday was a game I wanted to win um, because it just felt perfectly to last home game Brady underdog, uh, and basically not giving us a chance. I think we were getting over 10 points or over 13 points in that game yesterday. And, throughout the whole game, I really thought we were going to win. And when Brady threw that touchdown, I let out a yell. And, after October and Jets not having any real chance at all and everything going on, I just wanted to see progress. But yesterday I wanted to win. And yesterday's loss really got to me. The only other loss that got to me this year was in Atlanta because I really thought they could win that game and that would be a stepping stone. But yesterday's loss was a hard, a hurt, was a hurtful loss. So we as Pop got older and couldn't make the games throughout the season, going from 8 games, and there were years that we didn't miss a game at all. We'd be there, the coat tight years. We went to all 8 games and whatever. And then as he got older and health started to become an issue, he'd do 6 games, then 4 games, and then it got to a point where he would do 2 games or 1 game, and we'd sit in the handicap section so we could wheel his scooter in there and whatnot because the stairs were not his friend and traveling was not his friend. But my daughters took on a love for the game, and they continue the tradition that we started over, probably about 30 years ago, 31 years ago. So, Pop, you said you were never going to see them win a championship, and from down here, you didn't again. Maybe up there, he could pull a few strings and get us one. But I just wanted to say to anybody who watches this, 2 things. Thanks, Pop, for giving me the love of football and for being my partner so many years in watching the Jets, whether it was at the stadium or at home or at a party where we'd sneak into the next room and watch them on TV or listen to the game while we were driving someplace. Thank you for that. I'll never forget all the memories we've had going to the games and freezing our asses off and sweating and just being disappointed and just sitting there watching. But but we had quality time together, and I'll never forget that. And to anybody who still has their father with them, um, cherish it. If you have something you guys do together, do it and enjoy it because the day that comes that you can't do it anymore, it hurts, but you want to have those memories. So thanks, Pop, for everything, and continue to watch over us and protect Mom and me and our girls. So I'm gonna go into some scores. I'm gonna do it quick. I'm sorry if that was a little drawn out, but that was something I just needed to do. Um, so tonight, Browns go to the Steelers. Um, I think the Browns are still alive in this. I think the Steelers are still alive. I'm not sure how the playoff positions are falling out now, but Browns are 7-8, Steelers 7-1. This will probably be Big Ben's last home game at Heinz Field. He mentioned that. I think he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to go someplace else. He's banged up. He's old. And I think he's accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. I think this is going to be an emotional night. And I think the Steelers win this game. I don't think Big Ben puts up tremendous numbers, but I think he puts up enough for them to win. So the Steelers will go to 8-7-1, and the Browns fall to 7-9 and basically be out of it. The Giants went to the Bears, and they're just free falling with their quarterbacks and lack of offense. They dropped the game 29-3. They fall to 4-12. The Bears go to 6-10. They're showing some improvement, and they could be on the upswing. Eagles and the Washington football team. Eagles clinch at least a wild card. Oh, actually, they do clinch a playoff berth. I think it is a wild card because I think Dallas has won the division. I'm not sure how everything has fallen out yet again. They beat Washington 20-16. They go to 9-7. Washington goes to 6-10, and big props to the Eagles for really turning it around and making the playoffs. Rams and Ravens for the most of the game. Ravens led in this game. Rams came back. Um, they are 12-4. Ravens fall to 8-8. They win. Rams win 20-19. Ravens need some help to make the postseason, and yesterday was a game they needed to hold on to. And I'll go back to this again. Jim Harbaugh sacrificed 2 games going for 2-point conversions late in games to go for the win instead of going for the tie and moving the game to overtime. And that happened yesterday in the Jet game, but different circumstances. So I blame Jim Harbaugh on this whole thing because you're looking at a 2-game swing. So right now they'd be 10-6 and sitting very good, or very well. Now they're 8-8 because of 2 games that they basically gave away on 2-point conversions. So the Rams go to 12-4, Ravens 8-8. Dolphins 7-game winning streak comes to an end in Tennessee, 34-3. Dolphins are 8-8. Tennessee is 11-5. Um, I think they can really make some ground in the playoffs. The Dolphins put up a valiant fight. I mean, they were 1-7 at one point. They're 8-8 now. They're still mathematically alive, I believe, but it's going to take a lot of work. And this is just a hard game for them. Jaguars and Patriots. Patriots make the playoffs again. Uh, so I'm looking at the playoff picture now. The Colts, Chargers, and Patriots are all wild card teams right now. Raiders, Steelers, and Ravens are in the hunt. Um, that Raven loss yesterday really did a job on them. Um, so let's go back. So Patriots win 50-10. They beat a depleted Jaguar team, and they'll have a new head coach next year, probably the #1 pick. Patriots go to 10-6 with Mac Jones as their quarterback. Amazing job by Bill Belichick to scheme around a young quarterback. Um, and the Patriots are back in the postseason. Colts and Raiders, just like every other team in the NFL, there was a John Madden honoring for him. Just the way he impacted the NFL. And the Raiders win 23-20. They go to 9-7. Colts go to 9-7, and that was big for the Raiders because that really helps them in their chances now. Chiefs and Bengals. Bengals win a great game, 34-31 in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow late in the game got dinged up. Um, I'm waiting to hear back, waiting to see some reports on his knee. But the Bengals hold on 34-31. Chiefs fall to 11-5. Bengals go to 10-6. Falcons and Bills. Bills win 29-15. They're at 10-6. Falcons are at 7-9. Bills are the top seed in the AFC East right now. And they play the Jets next week, and they can just probably wrap it up next week with a win. Or obviously, the Patriot loss. 49ers beat the Texans 23-7. Texans have had the same issues as all the other teams with with rookie quarterbacks, except for the Patriots. Um, Texans fall to 4-12. 49ers go to 9-7, keeping their chances barely alive. Chargers win at home over the Broncos 24-13. Chargers go to 9-7. They are listed as a playoff team right now. They didn't clinch yet, I don't believe, but they are listed in the wild card right now. Broncos fall to 7-9. They need help. Kyler Murray goes into the Cowboys and beat the Cowboys 25-22. Both teams are 11-5. This is going to go um, a long way with tie breaking and home field and whatnot. I do believe the Cowboys did clinch the NFC East. I don't think the Eagles could catch them, but because it's 2-game swing, so Cowboys have the East, but the Cardinals fighting for first place overall and the number 2 seed, I believe, or number 1 seed. Saints and Panthers, and I go back 3 months, and I remember Panthers were 3-0, and everybody talking about Sam Donald and the new chance that he got, and new scheme and all that. And he was 3-0 with McCaffrey, and then McCaffrey went down, and then things went down, and then Sam got hurt. Sam got benched. After being 3-0, they end up right now 5-11. They lost yesterday, 18-10 to the Saints. The Saints are 8-8, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Um, and Sam hasn't played, I think, in a month. I believe Cam Newton played yesterday. So I don't know what's going to happen to Sam Donald's career after this season. I just see right now him being Mark Sanchez or Geno Smith and going to other teams and being that veteran backup, even though this is his 4th season. Seahawks and Lions. Seahawks put a beating on the Lions, 51-29. Seahawks go to 6-10. Lions go to 2-13-1. That was probably Russell Wilson's last home game as a Seattle Seahawk. He's not going to retire, but that I think would be his last home game. Vikings and Packers were last night. I actually fell asleep during this game since it's been such a stressful couple of weeks, especially the last few days. Packers win 37-10. They go to 13-3. Vikings are at 7-9. Packers right now the number 1 seed overall. Like I said, week ends tonight in Pittsburgh. And right now, the playoff picture: Tennessee, Kansas City, Bengals all in first place in their division. Bills have clinched their division. Next week, Chiefs are at the Broncos, Cowboys are at the Eagles, Chargers are at the Raiders. So good lineup next week. So let's talk about our Jets quickly. And what could I say? First of all, this game had everything. It had for me, the emotions of the loss of my father. It had Tom Brady coming back as a Buck, and this game was anticipated because Jet fans wanted to see him. I think Tom Brady fans wanted to go to the game. Was this the last time he would play in New York? Was this the last time the Jets would ever face Tom Brady? Because we face him every 3 to 4 years now. With that extra game during the season, do we get to face Brady next year or in 2 years or whatever? And just the anticipation. Game started with the Jets taking the ball, going down the field, and scoring a touchdown. Berrios needs to be re-signed between special teams and the way he can catch a pass and start to make some clutch catches. Really has helped Zach Wilson and this team. He can't be a number 1. They do need a number 1 wide receiver there, honestly. So the Jets went downfield. They did lose their running back to a concussion. They had, no Elijah Moore. They had no Michael Carter after a while. I mean, it was just a depleted offense. They did what they could do. And Zach, for the most part, looked very comfortable um, in the pocket. He made some tight throws. He made some nice throws. He made some good decisions. Um, Jets led throughout the game until the fourth, to late in the third quarter. Actually, no, to late to the fourth quarter. Jets led. Midway through the third quarter now, in typical Jet fashion, or I should say, and it wasn't them, it was just the game. Um, there's a report that Antonio Brown has left the sidelines. Um, and there were memes all last night. He had no shirt on or whatever. So basically, this morning on NFL Network, there's actually a video where Tom Brady is trying to talk to him, and I don't know if Tom is yelling at him because they do have a good relationship. And you can see Antonio Brown wants nothing to do with this. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking back to Santonio Holmes in a huddle with Sanchez and the rest of the Jets back in Miami like 5 years ago. And all of a sudden, Antonio Brown gets up, and I think Mike Evans goes to try to take, to calm him down. And now they're showing a view from behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneer bench of a fan videotaping this. And you can see that it's getting a little heated. And now Antonio Brown takes off his jersey with shoulder pads and he throws them. And everybody's just kind of in, shock at this. He starts to walk, and you can see they said that the security guards actually thought it was a fan that got on the field because now he has just a t-shirt on. Now he has just a shirt on. He takes it off. He throws that into the stands. He takes off his gloves. He throws that into the stands. All this while the teams are huddling on the field. Okay, gets to the end zone, gives the peace sign to the crowd, walks into the locker room. They said he actually left the stadium. I don't know if he called it Uber. I don't know if he had his car there or, he flew up from Tampa. But after the game, it was announced that he's no longer on the Buccaneers. Was this a mental breakdown? Was this something that's been going on and it just came to a head during the game? I don't know, but it was something that even the announcers said, I've never seen this, and Daryl Johnston, former Cowboy, said he can't be on this team after this. Um, so the Jets held the lead. Um, it was 24-17. They had a 4th and 2, deep, deep, deep inside the the Tampa Bay territory. I think it was inside the 20. I'm not sure. A first down or anything ends this game for the Jets. They take 3 victory formations and the game is over. Tampa Bay had no timeouts left. 4th and 2, and Zach takes a quarterback sneak forward and he gains 3 inches. And Tampa Bay gets the ball back. No timeouts, 50 something seconds left. Brady gets him down the field with 30 something seconds left. He throws a beautiful pass down the sidelines. The DB, I don't know what he was playing, but he didn't play the ball, didn't play the receiver. The receiver caught the ball, was able to turn, take 2 steps to get in, and that basically did it. And they went for 2, so they had to go. They went up by 4, so the Jets couldn't just settle for a field goal. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to say a few things. First of all, going for it on 4th and 2 did not bother me. They blew a timeout as the clock was running down, and they called a play. All of us said in our group text that I follow, that we're in, to call a timeout and get that play was terrible. Now, in the press conference, Coach Saleh said the call is a read call for the quarterback. The main part of the play is a reverse to Berrios. So Berrios would come from the quarterback, from Zach's right side around him. It would be a toss to Berrios behind him, and then up the left side, which was wide open. He probably could run in for a touchdown. If not, definitely pick up the first down. Zach said when he got up to the line, but also Coach Saleh said that the communications between the coaches and the QB was not good, and I think Saleh didn't want Zach making the decision to go for the sneak because it was a long 2 yards. It wasn't just a few inches. When Zach came out, he said that he read through his read on the defense, and basically saw an opening in one of the gaps, and that's why he called his own number. Um, of course, the media ripped him apart, asking him, "Well, coach said this, and was it?" SNY Bart Scott also said that Zach was being arrogant and he wanted to be the hero and he needs to make sure it's a team. They just ripped this kid apart, and everything that Zach did well yesterday went down to that one play. Now, yes, I am upset that they lost, but I'm upset that they lost because I wanted them to win for my father. Um, if he called his own number on that, he needs to read the defenses better, and that's just something that he's gonna have to learn. You can see Coach was a little frustrated because all he kept saying was, you pick up the first down and it's three victory formations. Game ended 24-17. Now, also at the end of the game, a Jet defensive player went over to Brady with a ball and had Brady sign it. I think it was Eccles. And Twitter ripped him apart. Um, Salicata from WFAN ripped him apart. Even me and my buddy George said, oh, come on, grow up a little bit. What I did find out later on was Eccles did intercept Brady, and he had Brady sign that ball. Listen, you don't know how much longer Brady's going to be in this league. He is the greatest of all times. Um, I guess if I hit a home run off of Mariano Rivera, I would have him sign the ball. Or if I, you know, was a goalie and saved Wayne Gretzky on a breakaway, I would have him sign the puck. Picking off Tom Brady is a tremendous accomplishment, and I take back what I said about the kid. That's something that's going to your mantle, and I just think seeing it on TV kind of made it look a little bush league type. But you know what? That's something you're going to cherish. The final stat line on Zach Wilson: 19 of 33, 234 yards. He averaged 7.1 yards an attempt, one touchdown. His passing rating was 89.7. Um, Brady, 34 of 50, 410 yards. He 8.2 yards per attempt, two TDs and an interception. His rating was 104.6. So it wasn't, close that way. The game was extremely close. This is a game the Jets could have won. Um, and they asked, what Tom Brady said to him. They asked Zach, and Zach said, I just told him good job, and he just gave me an accolade back or whatever. Afterwards, I saw that they had a microphone on him. Basically, Zach went over to him and said, "Good job." Brady turned around to the kid and said something about his performance and said, "Keep it up." They gave a hug and that was it. So the Jets fall to 4-12. Um, I thought they would get to 6 wins. The best they can do is 5 wins, and next week they're going to be in very cold Buffalo. For Buffalo, trying to solidify maybe a better seed. Um, so it's going to get rough. I'm going to have an end of the year rating and whatnot for the season and on the coaches, on the players, who I think stays, who I think goes, where we are in the draft, and we'll do all this through the playoffs and whatnot. But the Jets dropped a game that I had them losing before the season started. They played toe to toe for 58 minutes, and like me and Pop have seen so many years in the past. Uh, we lose a heartbreaker on a game that we probably weren't even supposed to be in. So, everybody, I'd like to wish you all a happy, healthy, blessed new year. Enjoy yourselves. Don't get caught up in things that you can't control. Um, yes, I love the Jets, but life uh, showed more important things this week. This game was disappointing, but for other reasons. So I wish you all the best in 2022 um, and beyond. I hope everybody stays safe, everybody stays healthy, and I hope that we can continue to have these videos. These videos are more than just me talking about the team that I love and the sport I love. It's a therapy for me. It gets me through some hard times. Um, Listen, Let me know if you were at the game yesterday. I heard there was a lot of Buccaneer fans there. I heard a lot of Brady fans there. Send me pictures. Send me what you were doing. Send me text. And for everybody who reached out to me on Twitter, thank you. I had a picture from my father and me, my mom, and my girls going to a game about 4 or 5 years ago outside the stadium. Thank you for all the well wishers and the condolences. We can be reached on Twitter at the Takeoff is our Twitter handle. Facebook group the Takeoff. Please join. Um, we can be emailed at thejets.takeoff@gmail.com. And of course, here on this video, the subscription YouTube, the Takeoff, Alex Pazziali. God bless you all. Be safe, be well, be healthy. And I will have a preview video Friday. Thank you.